What gear do I need is a huge question whenever you're trying to build your home studio. There's a lot of detail and a lot to take in whenever you're putting everything together, so I'm going to show you everything you truly need to build your home studio. So, let's roll. When building your home studio, the first thing you need is a room. Just kidding, but not kidding, but in reality, the first thing you're going to need is a good laptop. You're going to want to get your laptop as cheap as possible whenever you're first starting out. Just make sure you get 8 gigabytes of RAM, as much storage as possible, and get a good CPU around i5 or i7 whenever it comes to Intel. Now the second thing you need for your studio is your DAW, or your digital audio workstation. This is one of the core things you need to actually record and be able to produce and mix. We suggest Reaper. It's only $60 and it is a very high quality DAW, and it's easy to learn, and you're going to get very good and professional results. A recording interface is going to be the next thing that you want to invest in whenever you're building your studio. You can't use your laptop or your DAW without your interface. Now, depending on what you're doing, take for example, if you're just going to be recording guitar and bass, then a Scarlett 2i2 will do just fine for you. But if you're going to be doing a full live drum kit recordings, then you're going to need something like a Focusrite Scarlett 18i20. This is going to allow you to mic up every piece of the drum set, and hopefully then some, depending on how large your kit is. The Scarlett 18i20 is what we use, and it has given us amazing results. So you're going to want to make sure you get a good interface that suits your needs for your studio. Next up on our list is microphones. Microphones are a very important part of your studio build. Without them, you can't record live drums, live vocals, or live guitar and bass caps if that's something you're doing. There's a ton of different types of microphones, but the ones you're going to want to invest in is a condenser microphone and dynamic microphones like these ones here. Condenser microphones require 48 volts of phantom power to operate. These are very clean microphones and they will pick up everything. These are really good for vocals as well as the room mic for drums. We'll do a video on that sometime as well. Next, we have the dynamic microphone. This microphone is very good for toms on drums as well as the snare drum. And also, if you like screaming or if that's something you're going to be recording, then dynamic microphones are very good for that as well. Whenever you're getting microphones, you're going to want to think about if you are recording live drums or not. For us, we are, so we did have to invest in a drum mic kit for our setup. We personally have the SE VPAC Arena, and this covers our drum set beautifully, and we get amazing results from that drum mic kit. So, microphones is something you're going to want to look into and invest in whenever you're building your home studio. It is an essential portion. Next on our list, we have studio monitors and headphones. These are both very important whenever it comes to mixing and recording in your studio. Whenever you're recording vocals, take for example, or drums, you're gonna need your headphones to have the music in ear or the metronome in ear, whichever one you're doing. Also, if you're in an apartment or your neighbors aren't really cool with you blasting music through studio monitors all the time, a good set of headphones is something you're going to be using a lot. I think your headphones or your monitors are going to be some of the most used items in your studio, right under your laptop, interface, and DAW. Other than that, your headphones are going to be used a lot, so make sure you get some good quality ones. Next on our list is a MIDI keyboard. Whether you do rap or you do rock and metal, you are going to be using a MIDI keyboard in your studio setup. They are very useful whenever making demos or adding other virtual instruments in your songs. Your producer can make a demo of one of your songs, for example, utilizing a MIDI keyboard. They are also very useful whenever adding cool effects in your songs. So a MIDI keyboard is definitely something that you want to get for your studio build. Next on our list is stands, and this one is very simple, so I'm going to go over it briefly. You're going to need guitar stands and microphone stands. Whenever you're recording vocals, you're going to need your microphone stand for it to sit on. You don't just want to be holding it. And whenever you're not using your guitar, you don't want it just sitting on the couch or leaning against a wall. You want it in a guitar stand. This will keep your instruments safe and make them last longer over time. Next is cables. You are going to be using a lot of cables whenever it comes to your home studio. You're going to need cables for microphones, for guitars, basses, for your drum mics. You're gonna need cables to plug in your studio monitors into your interface, cables from your interface going into your laptop, and much more. There's a ton of cables that you need, and we are gonna make a dedicated video for what kind you need, but just keep in mind, cables is something you're gonna need for your home studio. Now with all the equipment we have and all the music we're gonna be making, you're gonna wanna be comfortable whenever you're in your studio. So I suggest getting some nice, comfortable chairs to sit in, because whenever you're recording and mixing and just doing general things in your studio, you're gonna spend a lot of time sitting down, so make sure you invest in a nice comfortable chair that's gonna suit your needs. Next, we have a pop filter, specifically for recording vocals. This is gonna be very nice because you're gonna remove all of the harsh p, d, and s's out of your recordings. It's gonna be much cleaner and much smoother. A lot of these are like 20 bucks, so this is definitely something you need in your space. Next on our list is a power conditioner. With all of this equipment, we are running a lot of power in our studio. So you can use a power conditioner to turn on only the things you need whenever you're recording or mixing. This is gonna save power, and it's gonna make everything a lot more convenient for you whenever you need to turn things on and off in your studio space. Next up on our list is amp and drum sims. Both of these things just live in your laptop or your computer, and they are very convenient. You don't have to worry about having a live amp and live cab and having to mic that up and having all the cables to go into the interface, and same thing with drums. You don't have to worry about the space that drums take up, as well as the microphones and cables. Everything gets very expensive very quick, and this can be a good time saver for you. You can record guitar just by plugging your guitar into your interface and then pulling up your amp sims, and then boom, you are ready to record. And with drums, you can use your MIDI keyboard to write and record the drum parts that you want for a demo or for your actual song. There are a ton of free VSTs out there that are really good, and there's some that are cheap that are really good, and even some more expensive ones that you'll never have to upgrade ever again. Now for this last one, you may call me Captain Obvious, but I did say we're gonna go over everything you need for your studio space, and that is a desk. A desk is where you're gonna spend most of your time in your studio. Your laptop, monitors, computer screen are all gonna sit right here, as well as other things. So make sure you get a desk that's gonna last you a long time, and if you have one just spare in your room or around your house, use that. Save as much money as you can and use what you have in the moment. Now that you have everything to build your home studio, it is very important to think about the feeling or the vibe that's going to be in the environment. So check out this video to improve the environment and the vibe in your studio. Now, turn up the volume and rock on with Studio 612.